So what do you think is the biggest obstacle for people to break through from pub play to competitive play?
Simply finding 4 like-minded individuals that are willing to put in the time and effort. That's one of the things that sucks most about Dota compared to like StarCraft. You know, in StarCraft, you always have a game, and you're only dependent on your own individual skill, but in Dota, you're pretty much at the mercy of your teammates, and so the biggest thing is trying to find a team that is roughly your skill level, but is also willing to put in the same amount of effort. And, of course, as I cannot stress enough, go for players that you like over players that are good. I can't stress that enough. If you don't enjoy playing with somebody but they're a good player, your team's going to go nowhere because eventually it'll boil over. And you have to choose.
I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say you can change a Dota player's skill, but it's hard to change their attitude and their personality, so you probably have a better chance of going in the other direction.
I would totally agree with that statement. If I had to... Actually, I have done that. I'll choose the player that I feel that has maybe less skill right there and then, but, you know, has a good attitude and he's willing to learn. Those players, honestly, are so difficult to find nowadays, just because of the pub mentality that these leagues have spawned. So, I mean, I can't stress enough that, you know, try to keep an open mind and an open attitude. Oh, my bottle just fell. Keep an open mind and and an open attitude, and just, you know, try to work at it instead of just taking that mentality of, oh, I'm a better player than everybody, I'll just ignore you.
Yeah, it's got to be a hard thing to get over, because I think you're seeing it more and more nowadays. And I used to hear that, like, pro teams and stuff, they are really well-mannered and stuff. Is that true?
Not really.
Yeah.
I feel like our generation of Dota is, like, in terms of manner anyways, is like, and attitude is the shittiest. Because of leagues like THR and stuff, they think like, oh, I have a higher yellow, I'm a better player than this guy. Or, I killed you once, you know. I get all this flame all the time from absolutely nowhere. And it doesn't just come from THR, it also comes from the competitive community. But, you know, it's beneficial to be a banner team. You have a better reputation that way. Our team personally, none of us, we try to avoid talking in all chat, you know, shit talking and stuff, just because it reflects better on us as a whole.
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, it's one thing to shit talk the other team, but it's shit talking your own teammates too. I mean, and you see that in Dota all the time.
Yeah. Exactly. And when you're on a team, you represent everybody, not just yourself. So.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to make your whole team look bad just by getting a little shit talk to the other team. Well, I've only got one more question for you. So, what do you think Dota 2 will mean for the North American Dota community?
Hopefully it means a revival, a new influx of players, and hopefully it means players that are more willing to step up and try the competitive scene a bit more. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, Dota's dead, but I have no trouble finding a game ever, and I still can find a decent quality of game. So hopefully, though, it gives us an influx of players and it helps out a little more, and there are more competitive tournaments out there. I know right now there's only like once every month aside from SCCS, but that's pretty much a wash now. So
yeah, a lot of people do say that Dota's dying, but I don't think Dota's dying either. I think it's just that Dota players aren't willing to step into the competitive Dota scene, because there's just a ton of Dota pub stars, you know, that are just playing in tiers and stuff, and there's people out there that have potential to join these teams. It just takes a little effort on their part to jump into that, you know?
I mean, a lot of people are just comfortable with where they're at, and they like, you know, thinking that they're very good by stomping the same people over and over again. But, you know, sometimes you kind of have to take that leap of faith, and that's the only way to truly improve yourself.
Yeah. Well, that's about all I have for you. Do you have anything else to add to this interview before we head out?
Not really, I guess. Shout out to DSMK and Cinnamon. Obviously, shout out to my team. Monolith, Rana. Thank you for THR for making me a better player. Anti-shout out to everybody that flames me in Tier 2 when I say absolutely nothing in all chat. Seriously, you just watch one of my games sometime. It's unbelievable how much flame I get directed at me.
I believe it. I actually think I've seen it before.
What are you gonna do, right? People are trying to make a name for themselves. What are you gonna do?
True. Well, is that all the shoutouts you have? I was expecting you to have like a really long list.
Oh, okay, you actually want to hear my list? Alright, shout out to Mandarin, Kurt, Everett, Jing, Barbecued Elf, Taku, Mad Morgan, Tide to Time, Chanty Kid, Jo, Distralis, Samugi Monster, DSMK, Mute, Monolith, Toxin, Knight, Cinder, and Emerin, Toby Wan, 2anyone, Dara, Kick, and Rush. Ta-da.
What, I interviewed you and I'm not in your shoutout?
Oh, and Avail. Forgot about Avail and Martin. My bad. You get no shoutouts.
You're a bitch.
You're in my presence, that's enough.
Alright, well thanks for sitting down. Yeah, that's true.
No problem. Yeah, if anybody has any questions, feel free to PM me on the forums. I'm usually not a huge dick, although I come off as one. I'm more than willing to help anybody that is actually... If you're serious about getting into the competitive community, I'm more than willing. I'll go out of, like, above and beyond out of my way to help you, because Dota needs more players, and if I can do my part by helping at least 2 teams get formed in my lifetime, then I've done something.
Yeah, this man's telling the truth. I mean, just PM on the forums. I've scrimmed with him before, and he kind of helped me out, and I learned a lot from him. I never left base without items anymore, so that was definitely So yeah, if you're serious about learning Dota and learning competitive team play, PM this guy and he'll help you out. He'll set you up. He's kind of an ass to deal with at first, but you get used to him, and it's definitely worth it.
I know nobody's gonna want to PM me, but yep.
Well, I hope you receive some PMs. But yeah, I guess that's all I've got for you. Thanks for sitting down with us today.
Thank you for having me.